Hello, guys. It's me, Butterfly Spirit 314. So, guys, tonight I had my first ever pole boot camp. So, I'm going to talk about my experience that I had for you guys. Yesterday, I was telling you guys about what my plans would be this week, which was that I would be going to pole boot camp, and then I'd also be going to my intro to floor work on Thursday. So, you guys may be wondering, what was it like? Well, I survived. I survived through it. Um, to describe it, so similar to my pole dance classes, we did have a warm up. However, in the pole boot camp, we did a lot of planks for the warm up. Um, we did like planks where we did like shoulder taps and stuff like that. We did a lot of we did lunges on the right side, lunges on the left side. Um, let's see what else we did. We did, I want to say we did do like some stretching and things. We definitely warmed up our legs. We did, of course, like head rolls and stuff like that. Um, Trying to think of anything else. We definitely worked our cores in the warm up. I will say during the warm up, my core was definitely like on fire essentially because I had to like hold my stomach in like with my core muscles and stuff. Yeah, it was different than my pole warm-ups. It was definitely a boot camp warm-up. Okay. We didn't do any jumping jacks. So my assumption when I thought about like what a boot camp warm-up would be like, I thought, oh, we're gonna do like, some jumping jacks, some running in place. Yeah, no. It was not that. It was definitely us doing, a warm up where we were warming up our whole bodies, working our cores, our hips, our legs, um, knee raises. Yeah, but my core was on fire. I will say that um, because we were activating our cores a lot and stuff. Doing a couple of Pilates movements and stuff like that I've done before and things. But yeah, I would say it was more intense than what my pole warm-ups would typically be. And it was more intense than the heels warm-up and more intense than the what am I thinking of? The floor work warm up. So, yeah, so this one was definitely more intense. They asked, so this teacher with the boot camp, I've never had a class with her before. She was in my chair dance class, so she was like a student in that class. But yeah, this is my first time actually taking a class with her. And we definitely the warm up was definitely a precursor to what we were going to be doing when it came to doing the exercises. Okay, so I was good and warmed up. In my class, there was I think there was how many of us was it? I think there was like 9 of us in class. So it was about 9 of us and stuff. It's supposed to be 10, but somebody dropped out. How I got into the class, because originally it was fully booked with all 10 spots were booked. But what happened is that somebody dropped out of the class. So when I saw somebody drop out of the class, I grabbed the spot that became available. And then somebody else who was going to be coming to the class, that somebody who was already booked in the class, they dropped out. So that's why there was like 9 people. So you guys may be like, well, what was the boot camp like? well, well, it was not what I was expecting it to be. Okay, it definitely was not. So one aspect, so we had basically we were circling through different exercises around the room is what we were doing. So we did something, I believe that one of the exercises which I was struggling with, this was like one of the last exercises in the circuit. One of them I was struggling with was the Copenhagen planks. The teacher said a lot of people don't like them. When I did them, basically there was like this little kind of minute glass or whatever. And I had to make sure that I was raised, like my body was raised up horizontally while I was doing the plank. And I had to be up off the ground, like both of my legs had to be up. So I had to like hold that position, and I was shaking because um, it was hard for me to hold that position. I did it, but it was tough to do. And I think it was really cool that I had somebody like help me do that because I had like literally no idea how to do it. And me and this other girl were doing it at the same time. Um, and I will say that I had to do it on the right side and then I had to do it on the left side for a minute. So I feel like that was tough. I wanted to record myself doing it, but I ended up not recording myself doing any of the exercises. So I don't have any videos or anything. But I will say that was a tough exercise for that one. Let's see. I did do some it was like leg raises and stuff. So I did do that. That's kind of how I would describe it. So one leg is kind of bent, and then the other one is like kind of lifting, like standing up and stuff, like going up and down. So that like, and I was holding on to a bar while doing that. Um, Kind of like a ballet bar, kind of. It kind of put me in the mind of that. Another exercise that I did was it was an exercise where basically I had to do um, where I had to climb up onto the pole um, and then come back down on both sides. And so it's kind of getting me prepared to like climb up and stuff like that. So that was a thing. And then in addition to doing that, then I had to come down from off the pole. And then I had to do, I think there were some sort of, I don't know if they're called mountain and of the lunges or something like that. And we had to do that with 3 successions of it. My first time doing it, I was completely confused about how to do it. I did do it for a second time because I made it around and did all the exercises twice. So my second time doing like the climbing up on the pole and coming back down, and then doing the mountain like lunges or whatever. Um, my second time doing it, I was actually able to wrap my leg around the pole. The first time I was kind of not doing that. My second time around, I actually was able to do it and stuff, which this is really going to help me with my climb because climbing is something I struggle with. I mean, even though I'm not in level 1 yet, like I'm a level 1, but I'm not in the class yet. So, moving on, I moved on to another station where basically we were doing push-ups, but they were push-ups into like a child's pole essentially. And so that was a bit different to do. I'm glad the teacher like kind of coached me on how to do it, and I'm glad somebody else was kind of with me the second time I was doing it. The first time I did it, I was like completely lost. The second time when somebody was like next to me doing it, it really helped me to kind of get an idea of what I need to do, and I needed to make sure that I pushed my butt back because I wasn't doing that the first time. I was just doing the push-ups, but I wasn't like pushing my butt back like I needed to into like the child's pose. So I wasn't doing that part. So I'm glad the teacher also helped me with that. She also wanted me to like spread my legs more and stuff and things, so that actually helped too. And the goal when I was doing the push-ups is that my body had to go all the way down onto like this, the like this platform, I guess, like that was there. So my chest had to go down to that and then raise back up. And then I would like come, like basically send myself back into the child's pose with my butt going backwards. So it's kind of hard to describe. I'll have to record myself doing it so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing like the next time. So you'll be able to see. So I'll be able to like, I'll film and stuff like that the next time because I'll like know. So the next thing is that we had the next exercise was where there was like this Pilates ball, and it was basically behind my back. Um, and basically there was this 25-pound like dumbbell weight, and I basically had to, with the Pilates ball behind my back, I had to basically squat down while holding the 25-pound dumbbell and then come back up. And I will say that was something where before I did it, I wasn't sure I could do it because there was like a 25-pound dumbbell, but I was able to do it. My first time, I feel like I struggled. The second time, because somebody was with me doing it, it was easier to do. Then after doing like 10 of those, then I moved on to, there was this other exercise we moved on to with weights. So this one, I used a 15-pound weight, which was kind of the lightest weight they had. And for this exercise in particular, I had to keep my back straight. And the goal is that I was supposed to bend over, but I was supposed to hold the weight and like basically move the weight over to like the opposite leg, but while keeping a straight back and stuff. So, and the girl, so the first time I did it, I was lost. The second time I did it, somebody was with me, so it was great. And she was telling me, she's like, okay, well, when you do it, you know, when you're bending down and your butt is coming back, pretend like your butt is closing a door or something, like a kitchen door, you know. I was like, oh, okay. And that visual kind of helped me to do the exercise and to do it correctly. So it actually helped. I think when people describe what I'm supposed to be doing it like, it actually helps me a lot more. Yes, this was my first class, so I was definitely needing coaching on what to do. There were people who had been in this class before, so they kind of knew what to do. But me, I was like, oh my gosh, this is my first class. Like, what do I do? You know. Let's see what else. The next station. So I did that exercise on both sides with the 15-pound weight. And then the next exercise, I'm trying to remember what the next one was. I think the next one was back to where I did the Copenhagen plank. So it was back to that one. I was almost about to do that, but we ran out of time the second time. So yeah. I almost made it through the second circuit of exercises, but I didn't. I was close, but I didn't make it. The goal was for us to make it around 3 times. I will tell you, I definitely drank water during the class because I got hot. I was definitely sweating a lot. I had on a t-shirt at first. I had on this t-shirt I got on right now. And then I got to the point where it was hot, so I had to take this shirt off, and I was just in my purple sports bra. And hey, I was just doing the exercises, you know. It really helped when I had somebody next to me doing the exercises because it really helped me to understand what I was doing. Now, when the teacher initially was giving us a tour of the exercises we were going to do for the circuits of exercises, I was like, oh, one at a time. But then when it came time to do them, that's why I was trying to blink. I was like, my mind was trying to compute it and be like, what am I doing? You know? And the teacher was like, it's fine. I'll show you what you're supposed to do. This is what you do and everything. I was like, okay, great. But she realized it was my first time and everything like that. Me and another girl in the class, it was our first time actually being in a boot camp class. And shocker, I did not see anybody from any of my intro to pole classes. I saw nobody in those classes. Nobody. So I guess I was kind of the bravest person to kind of get into the boot camp. I think a lot of people probably feel like, well, they may feel like it's going to be too hard or something like that. So that's probably what they think. And so people may be intimidated. And that's probably why I didn't see any of my intro to pole buddies or anything. I was pretty much the only person from the intro to pole classes to kind of show up. But I'm glad I made it through the 2 circuits of exercises. Like I said, this shirt was soaked in sweat. I was hot, definitely had to drink a lot of water. And I will say that my lower back did start hurting a little bit when I was doing the exercise with the 15-pound weight. And that might have been because my back wasn't positioned the right way. Also because I have a former lower back injury. So my lower back was kind of annoyed and stuff like that too. So that's probably why it started hurting. But I'd say by and large, I'm very happy that I ended up going through the boot camp class. And I will say that I do want to go back. I do want to go back. And that might be shocking because you guys are like, what? It wasn't enough for you? No, it was. I'm actually glad that I made it through the class. I really am glad that I did. When I got finished with the class, my hair was soaked. Like I could feel the sweat on my hair. So my scalp was over here sweating and everything. My body's sweating. Yeah. And everybody was sweating. They had to turn the fans on and everything. Man, I'm going to tell you this. I was so warmed up during that boot camp that on my way, literally on my way home, I will tell you, I was still hot from the class, literally 30 minutes after I left the class. So that's how much we were working out. That's how much we were because that the heat, from doing it. Because how if you work out, you get warmed up. And sometimes when you work out, sometimes you have that heat that's still in your body, or the blood is still going through your veins and it's warm, your muscles warm and everything. Yeah, my muscles was warm for 30 to 45 minutes after. And then after that, my body starts to cool down and everything. I was so hot, I had to raise down the freaking windows in my car because I was hot. That's how warmed up I was. I did drink water, which was good. Drinking water in these classes, very important, very important. I am going to book another boot camp class, so I am going to be going. My goal is to try to go once a week so that I can build more strength. I'm sure that they have different types of exercises every week, so I'm going to try to, jump in and do it. I might try to still do intro to pole maybe while I'm waiting on the my beginner 1 class to start. So I'll have to see. But yeah, my teacher, she said there are people who come to the boot camp class and she's like, people come and be like, oh my gosh, this is so hard. And she's like, yeah, but this is a boot camp. This is what this is. This isn't we're doing some light, simple exercises. This is a boot camp. And it is. It is. So I'm happy I made it through it. Hell, I didn't think I'd be able to make it through 1 exercise, let alone make it through 2 circuits of the exercises. So I'm proud of myself. Next time, I'm sure I'll be able to get through all 3 of them. I'm confident that I'll be able to do it. So I can't wait to book my next boot camp class. I kind of want to do 2 boot camp classes, but I'm going to wait and see how my body feels tomorrow. and things. So I'll see how it feels and stuff. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm surprised nobody from my intro classes was in the boot camp class. But yeah, it's I'm glad, that I showed up and I was able to be there and experience it. And I definitely want to go back. Now my goal of getting stronger in pole, my goal is to get stronger, but I'm not going in there to become like a bodybuilder. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going in there to be like muscly ripped, that's not what I'm going in there to do. I'm going in there to strengthen my muscles and everything so I can be more prepared to do pole moves and things. But I'm not going in there to like bulk up or anything. That's not what I'm going in there to do. I'm getting my body more comfortable with being able to do pole moves and progress. That's what my goal is, not to be a bodybuilder or any of that stuff. That's not what I'm there for. No, that's not me. But yeah, I will say I am proud of myself for making it through. I am. I do want to go back. I think starting off, like I said, I want to do it once a week. At least it could be on a Monday or Friday. Doesn't matter to me. I think I'd like to do at least like 10 boot camp classes. Like, I think I would like to do that. I think I can give myself that goal, but I'm not going to hold myself to it or anything like that. I'm just happy I made it through one. So if I can make it through one, I can make it through another one. So that makes me very happy about it. So pretty much that's all I want to talk about today. I know I said I was going to talk about my intro to pole class the other day, but as it turns out, I haven't decided to do it. Today, I did post some videos of myself in my intro to pole class that I took on Sunday. I'm going to be posting like some more of those videos like throughout the week and stuff because I'm not really scheduled for another intro to pole class or anything like that. So I'm not really scheduled, but even if I'm not scheduled, that's okay. I think I'm on a wait list for another class as well, but we'll see if that even like how that comes about. I think I'll be more prepared once I get to level 1. Like once I'm actually in the class, because I'm already level 1, I'm just waiting on the class right now. But yeah, I am happy I did it. I'm sure somebody said in the class that they were going to sleep good tonight because they worked out and they get through the boot camp class. And I'm like, I think I'm going to sleep well too. I think I definitely am going to. I'm going to wait and see how my muscles feel in the morning and everything like that. So we'll see how my muscles actually feel. There was one other exercise I did do. I forgot about. It was an exercise that was actually on the pole, and it was an exercise that it's similar to when I do a jasmine, where I wrap my leg around the pole. But I had to use a kettlebell. I think it's like that weight, I think, and then I had to use another way to like stretch out from the pole. So that was a bit different. I was kind of lost by how to do it, but with help, I was able to figure it out. So I would say that I'm glad I remembered that. So anyway, guys, thank you all for tuning in. I know it's pretty late right now. Whenever you guys happen to watch the video, I appreciate you all. But with that note, I'm going to go get me some food and grab me some sleep because I'm tired from class. But anyway, you guys can, once I get this published, you guys can watch it in full if you want to. Anyway, all, thank you for watching. Bye.